the player sees every one of them. And that's not a bad thing. I'm not. It sounds like I'm being pejorative here, but
I don't know. Perhaps.
Hail, sir.
Hail, sir.
Don't bother the warden. Don't mind him, sir. He's just some fool kid.
It's no bother. What's your name?
Sign on. Reporting for duty, sir.
Excuse me?
I'm here to join the guard, sir. You must need replacements after the attack. I'm ready to serve.
How old are you?
Old enough to wield a sword and shield.
But not yet a razor, it would seem.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, Simon. Come back in a year or two.
King Jason, I beg you. My father was one of your servants. He died in the attack. Now my mother wants to leave for Thrace. I won't do it. Let me fight for you. Let me avenge my father.
both of these seem like good options, actually.
Not so thin on able bodies yet. Train hard, and then come back when you're older.
You're making a mistake. One day I'll be the best warrior on all of Yolkus. You'll see.
Strange lad.
Insolent, too.
He means well, I'm sure. Come, Hercules.
I'm very curious if these side quests are going to come back to play in the Elder game. I really hope they do. I hope that the enemies that we spare or the way we interact with NPCs actually has an influence on later side quests. I would love that. I'm not holding my hopes too high because a lot of games have promised that and failed to deliver on that promise. Even really major titles such as the Mass Effect series promised a lot of choice and a lot of influence on later actions based on your choices. And a lot of players were not totally satisfied with that. So it's a hard thing to actually pull that off. It's very complicated. It requires a lot of development resources. So if we don't see all of the NPCs that we're dealing with now later in the game, I won't cry. But if we do, I'll be very impressed. Let me check my map again. As I said, you have to constantly be orienting yourself. I need to speak with Peleus here, okay? The clearly not evil uncle behind this entire plot.
Jason, I found something.
The way to Delphi?
Perhaps. It's an old chart, crude and rough, but it does show an island marked only as Oracle's Rock. It lies far to the west.
To the west.
I've sent the chart down to Argos at the ship. At least it might offer a place to start your search.
Thank you, Uncle.
Jason, what of Yolkus? Your journey may take some time.
You can watch over Hercules. I trust you.
My place is as an advisor, not a leader.
I don't know. Is this not what you want?
You share my blood and my father's blood. Yolkus is our sacred charge. You must answer the call.
If this is truly your will, then I cannot say no. So be it, Jason. I live to serve.
I knew I could count on you. Now all that's left is to take my leave of Alceme in the mausoleum.
Medea should be aboard the ship by now.
Medea?
A former Black Tongue. She has agreed to journey with us. Her knowledge should prove valuable.
Jason, are you sure? Once a Black Tongue, always a Black Tongue.
I trust her, and she'll be watched. Don't worry.
Things have happened so fast. I see great deeds ahead of you, Jason. Do not worry about Yolkus. Anyone who would do her harm must come through me.
Huh. Well, I don't know. Maybe he's not the big bad guy behind all this. He just looks like the scheming advisor, doesn't he? Huh, okay. I also want to laud the game for the level of choice that they've worked into all of these quests and side quests, or at least with regards to the dialogue choices. I'm very pleased with how varied the responses are and how reasonable most of them are. You know, even the Ares options actually make sense in a lot of these contexts. Usually what we see in these types of games is you can either be a dick to everyone or you can be a saint to everyone. And that's a little simplistic, you know. That's the kind of dichotomy that we see in Infamous, and even in some later BioWare games. You know, I love Mass Effect as a series, but they are famous for introducing the Paragon Renegade system, which basically boiled down to almost a dichotomy. You know, you could either be, like I said, a jerk or a saint to everyone.